Many different compounds in cannabis. Two of the most common ones are THC, tetrahydrocannabidiol, which is the stuff that's psychoactive. It makes somebody develop a high, and then CBD cannabidiol is there's receptors throughout the body for this particular substance. There's CBD1 receptors, CBD2 receptors. These are the two most common ingredients in cannabis. CBD, there's been shown for some time now, decades, that it can have a medicinal effect. Specifically, some of the early studies showed on convulsive disorders or seizure disorders. CBD is the more medicinal part of these compounds.
One chemical in marijuana, THC, is responsible for the psychoactive effects, or the high. It also combats nausea and pain. But another chemical, called CBD, seems to have additional benefits. In San Francisco, these researchers say that compound, CBD, can kill cancer cells and stop them from metastasizing in human cells and mice.
My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified in addiction medicine, and I have a practice here in Central Florida. I treat people whose lives have been totally ruined by drugs and alcohol. If I ask my patient population what are their three most common complaints, I hear anxiety, panic attacks, sleep disorders, chronic pain. When I found out about CBD, I was really encouraged because CBD oil is extremely beneficial for those three things. So I said this was a perfect match for my patient population. Another thing as a physician that I really found comforting was that there was a tremendous amount of research that was done on CBD long before the product was available. There is sound science that backs this product up. When any physician hears that there are receptors for CBD in the brain, that it works on the limbic system, which is the brain's emotional system, they can really understand how this can be beneficial to their patients. Other benefits apparently are anti-inflammatory effects. There are reports about its early research use in treating cancer. There are many patients that have social anxiety disorder. CBD would play an important role in treating them. There are neuroprotective effects of CBD, so we're really just at the start of research to understand all the different ways that this product can be used. So I'm really excited about using it and happy for the opportunity to offer it to my patients. People with social anxiety disorder have extreme fear of getting into social situations. They have difficulty approaching people, they have difficulty going out shopping or going to malls. Anywhere there's other people, they have extreme fear of that situation. So a lot of people learn to medicate to cope with that problem. Having a natural product that would help them in that situation would really reap benefits for them. So I'm really excited about that use. And the truth is, it's a very common disorder. One of the reasons that people are trying to legalize medical marijuana in this country is for its CBD content. This product, which is sold as a supplement, is legal in all 50 states, and in fact is being used worldwide because there is no THC in this product. And therefore the negative effects of THC, getting high, getting munchies, having paranoia, are simply not found with this product. One of the other benefits of CBD is that in a small percentage of people who smoke marijuana who have certain genetics, they actually develop schizophrenia. CBD can act to counteract that problem, and it's used as an antipsychotic. It can repair brain damage. In addition, people that have psoriasis and other skin disorders can benefit from topical application of CBD.
This 3-year-old little girl battling brain cancer is in San Diego tonight, hoping to heal by using a treatment found in a form of marijuana. She's using hemp oil to treat her illness.
Deb McGrath with the Epilepsy Foundation of Kentuckiana says the use of CBD oil would greatly improve the quality of life for some 90,000 families across the state.
This isn't like legal marijuana. This is different. You can use hemp extract to get this oil. It will have traces of THC, but it's not going to have THC to the degree that it would alter your state. You can't get high.
So I said it was on Saturday, right?
Suzanne DiGregorio is a supporter of the oil. She says her son Alexander has autism and suffers from epileptic seizures.
Medications never quite cut it. Their seizures are reducing significantly, but not only that, but their development is taking off. So
the oil contains a potent dose of the plant's chemical cannabidiol that some studies have shown to help fight cancer. It's ingested, not smoked.
I'm just lucky because of you guys providing this medicine for me. That cannabinoid triggers a message to the leukemia cells in my body telling them to kill themselves. So this is killing cancer in my body right now. If I don't have this medicine, I die. There's no doubt in my mind. That's what the oncologists have told me.
You can swallow it by the bucketful. It won't get you high at all, but it appears to have profound nerve protective and brain enhancing properties. And interestingly enough, it also induces anti-anxiety effects. It does appear that this may also have anti-cancer properties.
They told us that he has Dravet syndrome. And Dravet syndrome is the most extreme catastrophic epilepsies out there, they say. We've tried 11 different anti-epileptic drugs. We've changed the medicine so many times because of all the side effects. 2 weeks ago, he was laughing and crying in the same motion with the difference of meds. Lately, I've been reaching out to a lot of different parent groups. I've heard there's other kids with epilepsy that tried medical cannabis and are doing much better. Jaden had 4 days without a seizure. He was having seizures on an everyday basis. I have hope. You know, that's awesome. The last 4 days have been the best 4 days I've had in the last 4 years. But I mean, if just with that little drop, we gave him 4 days of seizure free, I mean, what can I ask for?
The Figgies tried everything. Strange diets, acupuncture, and dozens of powerful drugs like Valium, Ativan, phenobarbital. But nothing seemed to help.
That within the first administration, Charlotte went from having a seizure every 20 to 25 minutes, that's 400 a week, guys, down to 0 to 1 per week. And Charlotte was off 100% of her pharmaceuticals. No more pharmaceuticals. Well, cannabidiol has the highest anti-inflammatory and neuroprotectant properties found in nature. And CBD actually interacts with structures on the surface of brain cells known as receptors. And acting as that neuroprotectant and anti-inflammatory helps to decrease and, as you've seen, even eliminate seizure activity. Now, while we don't know, it seems as though CBD is actually playing a role in the repair of brain function.
Only when they really started separating THC from CBD that they saw, definitively, yes, CBD seems to really stop seizures.
According to some of our early studies and studies out of Israel right now, they're showing incredible results in PTSD, in migraines, depression, arthritis, cancer, and heart disease. And even further studies, believe it or not, are showing that this little-known compound might have the capabilities of helping to stop progression of Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, ALS, MS, and diabetes.
The inside story of cannabidiol. A couple of years ago, a remarkable thing happened when CBD became legal in all 50 of the U.S. states. If you remove CBD from the THC coming from the cannabis plant or the hemp plant, CBD is now legal to use as a nutritional supplement. Since that time, of course, the market has exploded with interest. And this conversation today is about the physiological effects of CBD on the human body. Truly, CBD is not just another nutritional supplement. This short conversation is going to accurately describe the intense scientific research that's going on around the world, but in simple language so that everyone understands of why CBD is so important for human physiology. In order to comprehend the significance of CBD to our health, we first have to ask the simple question, what exactly is our health? Every aspect of human physiology is based on the balance between polar opposites, between the yin and the yang. This creates homeostasis. When we look at specific parts of our physiology, like the immune system, the yin and the yang, the opposites would be anti-inflammation and inflammation, the negative and the positive. When those two things are in balance, your immune system is functioning properly. If we're talking about our nervous system, then we're talking about the forces of excitation and the forces of inhibition or relaxation. When we're talking about our endocrine system or our hormone system, we have the forces of breaking down tissue or the catabolic hormones, and we have the anabolic hormones which build up tissue. When those two forces are in balance, we have homeostasis of our endocrine or hormone system. If we're talking about oxidation, we have forces of antioxidation and forces of oxidation. Most people think that you have to just take buckets full of antioxidants all the time as if oxidation is bad. Not true. If you didn't have oxidation and the forces of oxidation in your bodies, you couldn't survive even 1 minute. Those two things have to be in balance. They have to be in homeostasis. All of our physiological systems have to be in this constant state of homeostasis, a dynamic balance. The stronger your physiology's ability to stay in homeostasis is, the more robust your capacity to be in homeostasis is, the healthier you are. Let's take a closer look. Here we go. We're going to travel into our physiology, right into our central nervous system. And we're going to see at the level of individual cells that the cell surface is covered with these green receptors. These are receptors for CBD. And when the CBD binds to that receptor, it sends a message into the cell, which travels all the way down into the nucleus of the cell, where the intelligence of our entire physiology is contained within our chromosomes. So here a chromosome is going to unwind, and you're going to see the actual DNA that contains the codes for everything that our body does. This is like the software that runs our physiology. Genes are the codes for every protein that our bodies make, including all the signaling molecules that run our physiology, such as our neurotransmitters that run our nervous system, our hormones that run our endocrine system, and our cytokines that run our immune system. So imagine, for instance, that these are cells in your pancreas making insulin. This is happening in 1 million cells, let's say, all producing huge amounts of insulin to keep your blood sugars in proper balance. Again, your insulin is a hormone, which is a protein. So we see that throughout our physiology, we have receptors specifically designed to bind with CBD, and CBD has its effect on the nucleus of our cells where proteins are being made. So which proteins are being made from the influence of CBD? CBD modulates the transcriptions of over 1,100 genes that make the signaling molecules that naturally reduce inflammation in our central nervous system and throughout our immune system, restoring homeostasis to both our immune and to our central nervous systems. So as you can see on the left side of the slide, CBD upregulates the genes that create anti-inflammatory biochemicals for our immune system and upregulates the GABA system in our central nervous system, which brings calmness to our central nervous system. And on the right side of the slide, we can see that CBD downregulates the genes that create the inflammatory biochemicals in our immune system, and also downregulates the glutamate system in our central nervous system, which causes overexcitation. Bottom line, CBD causes a cascade of homeostasis through our entire central nervous system and our entire immune system. So why is this happening? Because as I mentioned before, we have receptors in our physiology for CBD. This is called the endocannabinoid system. Back in medical school, we didn't even know about the endocannabinoid system. It was only discovered in the 1990s by Dr. Raphael Mechoulam from the Hebrew University in Israel, where an amazing amount of incredible biomedical technology and innovations are coming from that tiny little country. So the endocannabinoid system is a network of cells throughout our body that have receptors for CBD. In fact, there are more receptors for CBD in our body than any other kind of receptor. So the endocannabinoid system is truly the largest network of its kind throughout our entire physiology. Among other things, Dr. Mechoulam also discovered that we make our own cannabinoids in our body. This is anandamide and 2-AG. Anandamide is something that we create when we're meditating, hence it's called the bliss molecule. And 2-AG, as well as anandamide, are released in mother's milk when a child is breastfeeding. So no wonder that child is so calm and happy when they're breastfeeding. Those two compounds are also associated with a runner's high. You know, that point when you're running and suddenly you're in bliss, you kind of break through the wall and now you just feel wonderful. Those two are the natural cannabinoids that our own bodies make and bind to our CBD receptors. So here we have our CBD receptors in our central nervous system and in our cardiovascular system, where immune cells are constantly circulating. Of course, in our bone marrow, where the cells are actually manufactured. And of course, in our immune organs. Our major immune organs are the intestines, the spleen, and the bladder. And last but not least, the lymph system. So our bodies are filled with CBD receptors. So what? Now you know the story. Why is this important? Why does this matter? Why is this important to you or me? Or if you're interested in the business of distributing CBD, why is this important to humanity? If you live in urban America or urban anywhere in the world, you are inflamed. Your central nervous system is inflamed, as well as your immune system is inflamed, and nobody is exempt because our physiological systems are under assault. Assault from environmental toxins such as herbicides, insecticides, and heavy metals, chronic biological infections such as bacteria, viruses, fungus, and molds, and last but not least, our inflammatory diets, which are very poor, usually way too much sugar, which causes leaky gut, an inflamed gut that allows certain bacterial infestations to occur that gets into our blood, into our systems. So, what kind of symptoms, what kind of stress do all these things cause to us? If your immune system is inflamed, you might be suffering from autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, inflamed bowel disease, lupus and thyroid, or fibromyalgia, or even MS, and your skin, psoriasis and eczema, and all sorts of other chronic infections. Do you realize many of these things didn't even exist 100 or 150 years ago? Incidence of these kind of diseases is growing throughout the last century because of the environmental load of toxins that we are now absorbing into our systems. Now let's take a look at your central nervous system. If it is inflamed, what kind of things might you be suffering from? Brain fog, migraines, epilepsy, anxiety and PTSD, ADD, ADHD, autism, and insomnia. Again, 100 or 150 years ago, these kind of symptoms, these kind of diseases were really rare. And over the last 150 years, because of the insult, the ongoing insult to our systems, these kind of things are more and more prevalent with every single year. So, if you are suffering from any of these conditions, any of these symptoms, CBD might provide you with tremendous healing, tremendous relief, right through your own natural endocannabinoid system that brings homeostasis, both to your immune system and to your central nervous system. So in conclusion, what have we learned from this conversation? That health is achieved through physiological homeostasis, right through our natural endocannabinoid systems. And therefore, CBD is an indispensable catalyst for optimal health.